Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Yep. After 4 years, I decided it's time for me to once again talk about Dragon Ball Evolution. There's a reason for it, though. Well, this needed a revisited review. It's been 4 years, but also, I have come up with an idea of how, I've tried it before. I did a video, I don't know what it was, but where I fixed something. What was it I fixed? I fixed Power Rangers Turbo, I think is what it was. So I come up with an idea that I'm going to fix Dragon Ball Evolution. That'll be the next video I do on Dragon Ball Evolution. But this one, we're actually going to revisit the film and all of its problems, of which there are many. There's a consensus that if you are a true Dragon Ball fan, then you must hate this movie with a passion and not like it whatsoever. Objection! First of all, you should be allowed to like whatever movie you want and not let a scarred fan base dictate what you do and do not like. So I, for one, being a huge Dragon Ball fan, I had the shirts, I had toys, I had DVDs. I have never hated this movie. I understand the problems with it, of course, but I've never hated it. I have issues. I definitely have issues. I mean, watching it this time, there are issues. One thing that I noticed, this breezes through. If you can say one thing about this movie, as bad as it is, it goes through fast, which might not be a good thing. It just kind of breezes through a lot of things. But even with 85 minutes, there's still filler. Like, them getting trapped in a hole and just so happen to find a Dragon Ball in the middle of a hole somewhere, and then fighting whatever those things are, that's filler. They go to a place to train, but I don't know, there's people there, so we can't be here, so let's go another place to train. Where Chi-Chi has already made it there before them for some reason. I know they were trapped in a hole, but still. It's like, what was the point of going there and then leaving and she's still also there? There's some filler. But watching this, the bad outweighed the good in this sense. There's some good, and I'll point that out there. First of all, I like the casting. Everyone's casting. And I know that's going to be an issue with people because the people all cried, they're not all Japanese. Well, none of them, but one of them, only one of them is Japanese, and that's the actress who plays Mai, whose name is Eriko Tamura. Yeah, because the other Asian actors, Jun Park is Korean American, if I'm he's South Korean American. Jamie Chung is Korean American, and Chow Yun-fat is Chinese. So, and everyone else is American. But I never hated Justin Chatwin as Goku. Yes, true, he's doing farty face throughout this film, and he's not great here, but he's good in other roles. Watch him in Shameless, or that episode of Lost he was in, or The Invisible. If you can find The Invisible, watch it. It's a great film. I want to talk about it, but it's not streaming anywhere, and I'll have to get a copy of it somehow, because it's a great movie. And Justin Chatwin's good in it. You have Amy Rossum as Bulma, and no, she doesn't have blue hair, but she has the streaks. Because realistically, you do a live action where she's got all blue hair, it's kind of, blue streaks make more sense. Yes, I'm defending that. What I would not defend is Chow Yun-fat as Master Roshi. Now, Chow Yun-fat is fine, but he looks nothing like Master Roshi other than having a Hawaiian shirt and implying he's horny by having a booby magazine and grabbing Bulma's ass for 5 seconds. He's on a motorcycle, by the way, so that's how you straddle... Whatever. And then there's Yamcha. Jun Park is good. I feel he's trying too much to do the Yamcha voice. Gonna get hot, hot, hot! Yeah. Truly the best actress in this is Jamie Chung as Chi-Chi. She's actually trying. Though I do like James Marsh as Piccolo. When I saw he was going to play Piccolo, I'm like, yes, this guy knows how to play a villain. And he does do the spike walk, though it may just be his walk, because he just walks like that on Smallville, too. So it may just be how he walks, but he does the kind of walk as Piccolo. And he's great as Piccolo. If Piccolo was Piccolo, he's just generic bad guy that looms over the movie, which is fine. But I would do it differently, and we'll talk about it. I would do a lot of things in this movie differently, because they did not understand anything except for maybe the Dragon Balls, but not really. The portrayal of the Dragon Balls are the best thing in this. They did not understand anything. Starting with the opening that makes you want to put your head through the wall. 2,000 years ago, the Namekian Demon King Piccolo came to Earth and wreaked havoc. Yes. 7. They said 5 in the movie, but now it's 7 here. Used the Mafu Ba, which is this movie's version of the evil containment ray. Isn't that what it is? Evil containment beam? Hold on. Evil containment wave. Yeah. For a while there, I'm like, there's no such thing as the Mafu Ba in the cartoon, in the anime. And I heard someone mention the evil containment wave, and I went, wait. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a version of the evil containment wave. And it stealed him away for many 2,000 years, apparently. And now he's free, trying to track down Dragon Balls with his henchwoman, Mai. I know that in the anime, Mai never worked for Piccolo, but I think it works here. What doesn't work is that she can transform, which is only used once to turn into Chi-Chi later in the film. This feels like a late addition. Like, oh, how are we gonna... Oh, she can change form. We'll just give her what the other guy is, because an anthropomorphic dog wouldn't make sense here. Or you could just make Shu a faceless ninja who just wears a ninja mask the whole time. An anthropomorphic dog wouldn't work, which is why there's also no oolong and no poir. And no dinosaurs either, which exist in the world of Dragon Ball. But anyway, it's now Goku's 18th birthday. I know people also had problems with him being that old. Goku's supposed to be a child. Here's where I'm going to defend this decision, though. Because they've clearly expressed, and I've seen other interviews, I've seen stuff on here, they were going to jump straight into Dragon Ball Z storylines with the proposed sequels, of which they had signed on for 3, but James Marshall said they wanted to do 7, which is what they want to do with the Power Rangers movie, but that movie failed of its own machinations. I got to go through that movie as well again for revisiting, because they revisited the 2 90s ones. That one needs a revisited too. But anyway, so throughout the opening, we see Mai and Piccolo searching for Dragon Balls. He uses his key energy beams to destroy a city, but everyone in there is fine. I feel like that was like a demand by the studio. Oh, can't kill anyone. And if someone dies, they gotta be wished back right away. I'm sorry, did you not watch the show? People died all the time. Vegeta killed his own partner. But he uses this beam, and it just destroys the buildings, but all the humans are fine. I don't know. There's also another one where they're just like above nothing, and he goes, and then they find the Dragon Ball. I'm just like, so I know how Bulma's able to find the Dragon Balls. How is he able to find them? Can he sense them? I don't know. I don't know. But it's Goku's 18th birthday, and he's training with Gohan. Grandpa Gohan, by the way, not his son, his grandpa. Grandpa Gohan. I do like the guy that got to play Grandpa Gohan. He's pretty good. But there's this weird CGI fight on a green screen with a CGI beetle bug that goes into his mouth, and He uses the crane technique, which is not what Gohan taught. That's the crane master, but whatever. And so, it is a very powerful move, which will come in handy later. And it's Goku's birthday, so he presents him with the 4-star ball. I love that continuity, because that's the ball that Goku has. So, yes, it's the 4-star ball, not anything else. But, yeah, he goes to school, where I feel like this is where hardcore fans dropped off. They're like, nope, this is not Goku. Because they decided, and I understand, that a character in a movie or show needs to have some fallacies. He needs to have some issues, some problems. He can't be this perfect 100% I'm cool guy. But Goku would not get bullied. He would just not. Goku is the best fighter in the entire universe. No one would fuck with him. And, like, he talks to his grandpa about this, like, I could crush them. Then do it. Do it. Like, I feel like there's a fight with bullies later at the party where it's like, this cannot be the first time that bullies have tried to fight him. Because I feel like if they had, and he did this, what he was doing, they would leave him alone. Like, he doesn't even fight in there. But here, he parks his scooter in a parking spot and immediately Texas Battle from Final Destination 3 and Wrong Turn 2 shows up and just smashes through. And that's illegal because he was parked there. You can't just do that. He's like, what are you going to do, Kiko? And this always felt like someone in the writing room went, hey, Geeko. Goku sounds like Geeko. And they put it in the script like, call him Geeko. It's like it's the first joke anyone ever made if your name was Goku. Geeko. Congratulations. You made fun of someone's name. So he's in school, and they're talking about the eclipse, but he has a fantasy about Chi-Chi in a field of flowers. And yes, the green screen work is not good, but I do feel like this isn't the spirit of the show, because there is one of the movies where Gohan has a fantasy about Piccolo to a song that you can only hear in the Japanese version of the movie, but it feels like it's a part of it, but then it snaps out of it as the teacher talks to him about an eclipse that's going to happen, because it's not the full moon that creates Ozaru here. It's an eclipse. And here, I forgot to mention something very important about that opening. In this version, Piccolo controls Ozaru. Now, a Dragon Ball Z villain or a Dragon Ball villain controlling Saiyans is nothing new. Frieza did. He had Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa under his employ. So, Saiyans working for a villain, like we've seen it countless times, there are evil Saiyans around, right? Far more, it's like Superman where they're like, oh, Goku's the last one, but then everyone keeps popping up. He's not the last one now, is he? Even as good Kryptonians go, he's not the last one. But anyway, yeah, so it's like, Piccolo controls Ozaru, which is not from the anime whatsoever. If it was Frieza, which would be going too far into the story for the first film, it would work better as he employs the Saiyans. So, Ozaru would be a stretch, but Piccolo, no. And then here they retcon all Namekians is what they're supposed to be called. Namek is the planet, Namekians is the species. They reckon all of them to be evil. In the words of Milo from Society, no. The Namekians are a peaceful race, not evil. Piccolo is the only one, where Garlic and Garlic Jr. Namekians too, they don't have antennae. Neither does Piccolo in this, to be honest. The only one, Demon King Piccolo is the only one known to be evil. Everyone else were good. But he says that the Namekians were evil and something eclipse. I don't know. So he sees that Chi-Chi's not able to open her locker, so he uses his key, which is from the show and the games, which was only mentioned in the games. It's energy in the show, by the way, to open the lockers, and he opens every locker because he doesn't know how to control it. Again, Goku would be in full control of his powers. This is someone who, as a child, mastered the Kamehameha wave like that. Something that takes years to teach. He did it first shot. And for some reason, this version can't learn anything. Best fighter in the world. So Chi-Chi is like, oh, you have powers. You know how to fight too. And she's unable to say that she's a fighter, but she's like, first of all, she's like, I'm having this party. And he's like, I'll be there. And I'm just like, she didn't invite you. She just said she was having a party. How presumptuous of you. But no, like I said, he goes to the party and gets in a fight with Scott Porter, who's not credited on here. But he's one of the bullies. And he doesn't fight. He just defends himself. Moves. He does a hair slack thing on the car. And then, so I've heard people describe that the bully is dating Chi-Chi. Wrong. It's a Flash Thompson situation. Like, I know she was dating him in the movie, which is what they're trying to do here, but it's like, I don't think they were actually dating. Maybe I missed something, I don't know, but he's there. She clearly wants to chop Goku's bones and not Fuller, but whatever. He shows up and starts fighting and ends up destroying his own car. Keep in mind, Goku does nothing here. He's just defending himself, moving out of the way from the attacks. He does what he's told and doesn't fight. And then people are like, oh, but Goku would fight him. Objection! Goku would fight if Fuller was actually a bad guy, or if he was sparring, he'd fight. Fuller is technically an innocent, and Goku would not just fight him to fight him, even if he is protecting himself. Unless Fuller did something to Chi-Chi or someone else, then it's self-defense. But he would not just, oh, you're a bully, I'm going to fight you. As much as he, in this movie, and again, it's Grandpa Gohan who tells him not to do it, so he doesn't do it. But it still fits with Goku's character. So he and Chi-Chi talk about some shit. And meanwhile, Piccolo shows up looking for the Dragon Ball. Piccolo and Mai show up looking for the Dragon Ball. There's some kind of a fight, but he defeats Grandpa Gohan and destroys the house, which kills Grandpa Gohan. Yeah. Goku senses there's something wrong and runs back to the house, where he finds Gohan dying, but before he dies, he tells him to seek out Master Roshi, who has another one of the Dragon Balls, but I don't know if he says it. It says here. So the next morning, Bulma shows up. Again, she doesn't have full blue hair, but it's fine. The streaks are fine. And she's searching for the Dragon Balls. So she thinks that Goku stole her Dragon Ball, and it has 5 stars. She's like, it has 4 stars. He's like, oh, well, I'm sorry, but she wants his because she wants to harness the power of the Dragon Balls for weaponry or something. But she uses the Dragon Ball the Dragon Radar. That's what it is. To locate it. Here they call it the Dragon Ball Energy, the DBE. Because those are the initials of the fucking movie, so that's what they're going with. But the fact that they made Dragon Ball one movie means the B wouldn't count. It'd just be DE. You made Dragon Ball one word. So the B is no longer capitalized and thus has no bearing in the initials. Right? Like, my middle name begins with an A. I only say that if my full name was my first and middle name together, my initials would just be SF, not SAF, because it wouldn't be. It's that kind of a thing. But they made Dragon Ball one word, so the B wouldn't matter. Anyway, so he wants to go find Master Roshi, and she's hesitant, but he says that instead of making a deal, he says, I will be your protection. Keep no mind in the fact that she just wiped the floor with him for no reason, and she has a blaster. But she uses her capsule corp thingy to make a motorcycle thing, and they drive off. People also complain about him being on the back of this, but he did it in the cartoon, so... Well, he had Nimbus later, but when they first meet, he gets on the back of it and drives off. Like, he can fly. He couldn't fly until Dragon Ball Z. Maybe the later parts of Dragon Ball, but I never watched those, so I haven't seen those yet. So I've seen various parts. Maybe he could fly towards the end of that, but as far as I know, he couldn't fly till Dragon Ball Z. So early Goku not flying, well, it makes him less OP, I think. But anyway, they get to Master Roshi's house, which is not on an island, but in a little archipelago thingy in Paozu City, where it's a little island with a little pond around, like a moat or something. I think it looks cool, but I don't know. And they sneak in. She finds there's a Dragon Ball there, so they sneak in. And Roshi is sleeping. And again, like I said, Chow Yun-Fat looks nothing like Roshi, but he's fine in this. He fights Goku, and when Goku used the crane technique, he recognizes where it came from, and he says, "How is Gohan?" It's Gohan. Gohan. It just reminds me of those adults when you were kids who didn't understand, and they're like, "Oh, you play that Pokemon?" It's Pokemon. Okay, say it right, I don't say it at all. Bugs the hell out of me. I am Roshi. I am Muten Roshi, the Invincible. And then this is cut with, my grandfather is dead. I think it fits because I think what they're trying to do is that that he does. I will point out there's not one nosebleed from Roshi in this, and I wanted one. Just one! Even if it's just from getting punched in the face and he has a nosebleed, that happens. But they went to Dragon Ball that he has, and I don't remember if he agrees to give it or not, but he agrees to train Goku for Gohan. For Grandpa Gohan as a favor, because he believes that once he realizes that this prophecy about Piccolo may be true, he wants to train him fine. So as they set off, he has Goku, and this is from the series where they had to have this big backpack full of stuff. He and Krillin did that, and they had to run in the desert and train. That's what they're doing here. And then it cuts away from it later. Like, they get to the place where they're going to train, and it's like, oh, well, people are training here. And Chi-Chi is there for some reason. She admits she's a fighter, and she's training for a World Martial Arts tournament. And Roshi's like, we can't train here, we have to go. And then he has him standing upside down in the thing, and I'm wondering, what happened to the thing he was carrying? Did they leave it back there? And he has to knock the orange out. And I do laugh at this scene, because he uses the key. Yeah, he's using his key to move the orange. It's going to explode in his face. Orange is delicious. She finds the Dragon Ball, but they fall in a hole. We get to filler section number 1, where the first filler section was going to that place and saying we're not going to train. It's just to reintroduce Chi-Chi, and you could have just done that at the World Martial Arts Tournament. Again, my version is going to make more sense with this, but we'll get there. They're in this hole. Yamcha shows up with blonde hair and without power, but it's fine. Again, anthropomorphic animal's not the same. I would have given him like a little squirrel that doesn't talk but just sort of sits on his shoulder and chitters at him and he can sort of understand it himself. That sort of thing would work. You're right, little buddy. You know, he's like, "Can you get it?" She's like, she tries. Let me handle this. Can you get us out of here? He's like, oh, I sure can, but I need payment. He's like, payment. And I love Roshi's reply of, "Who do you think made the hole?" I like that. And then like it's nothing. Like they're in there trying to figure out a way to get out, and it amounts to nothing because Roshi just goes and jumps out of the hole and is like, "We need digging equipment to find a Dragon Ball." And we have more as Piccolo creates, I don't know, the Cybermen from his blood. Is that what they're supposed to be? I don't know. To go and fight them, and they only amount to being there so that they can create a bridge to get across to where the Dragon Ball is. I have an issue with this. Dragon Balls land wherever. Just when they're spread out, they just land wherever. This underground thing feels like a temple where someone would hold it. Sure, someone could have found it and put it there, but it's never explained. It's just there, and they need these bodies to climb across. If it's a temple, why isn't there already a bridge there? I don't know. And they get a Dragon Ball, and they're on their way. And because they mentioned the World Martial Arts Tournament, or where they're going, Mai knows where to go. And it's somehow there before them. I don't know. They get there, and we're introduced to Master Sifu Norris. Or Sifu is Master, but Sifu Norris. Ernie Hudson and a bro. I don't know. Roshi convinces him they need to another Mafuba to capture Piccolo because he doesn't believe that Goku will be strong enough. He then tells Goku, filler number 2. So Goku reunites with Chi-Chi, they have a smoochie, and well, Chi-Chi has just fought Mai, and she gets scratched. Important plot point for later that makes no sense other than for her to have transforming powers, and it's the only time we see it anyway. So Goku is tasked with lighting all of the light bulbs, all of the candles, by using his ki. And like he tries, and he's got to do one at a time, which is stupid because we know he has enough energy to do them all at the same time. But I guess focusing his energy is more important than just putting on a blast. Because you open all the lockers at the same time. And it's also proven he can because she uses horniness. Every time you light one, you come closer to me. And then he fails. But she starts backing every time he misses, which is not... That's not how it works. He lights all of them, and then, like I said, he lights all of them, and they smooch. They seem to catch Chi-Chi coming out of Goku's quarters, which means teenager, by the way. I know he's 18, but it's still teenager. Like, hey, way to go. And then I realize it's not Chi-Chi, because Goku comes from the other direction. What? She stole the Dragon Balls. Oh no. Then there's filler number 3. I don't think we needed this scene, but my ass Chi-Chi runs into Chi-Chi, they have a fight, and Goku shows up and can't figure out which one's which, other than, oh, real Chi-Chi has a cut. Nah, let's not worry about that and have him just attack the wrong one. Goku's stupid. Not that stupid. Okay, Goku can be an idiot sometimes, but not like that. He knows she had a... He saw the scratch earlier! Why wouldn't he just go... Why wouldn't he just break for 5 seconds and go, show me your scratch? Huh? Right? No, he just attacks without thinking, which makes no sense. So, of course, she gets away. And then... So they all go after her, and they end up in this weird dragon temple that you need to be at to use the Dragon Balls, which is bullshit. You can use them wherever you want. You don't need to be at a specific place. You don't need this temple. It's not needed. Piccolo tries to summon Shenron, but he's stopped by Goku and the others. With Goku saying he's going to defeat Ozaru, and Piccolo saying you are Ozaru, as the eclipse happens. I do like the addition of the eclipse instead of just being the full moon because, well, there's lots of full moons, whereas eclipse would be longer, take longer, to happen, where the moon is full twice a month. And it means he would be turning into Ozaru twice a month, so. But it's not. It doesn't fit the source material, so it must suck, I guess. He turns into Ozaru, the great ape, which looks more like if Shrek and Donkey fused together. But, yeah. I will say, having been sent to Earth in a spaceship as an infant to destroy it, that's what he was. That's what happened in the show. But he was sent by the Saiyans to conquer Earth, not destroy. But whatever. It's close. It's close. And he becomes Ozaru. Roshi attempts to use the Mafu Ba on Piccolo. Keep in mind, it took 7 of them to imprison him before, and Roshi's trying to do it on himself. This does fit with the show, which every time they try to use the evil containment wave, it doesn't work in some way, shape, or form, so. Yeah. Piccolo breaks free. Ozaru chokes Roshi to death, and his dying words cause Goku to fight back against Ozaru, and he comes back with farty face, because of course he does. He then decides to fight Piccolo using the Kamehameha, which was never established before this, but he's able to use it. A jumping one, by the way, which they did do in the show, but this is his first time using it. He would have to stance up first and do it on the ground, but whatever. It defeats him, but does not. It says seemingly defeats him. It does defeat him, but it doesn't destroy him. When we learn he's still alive, of course, because we gotta have sequels where he becomes a good guy. They celebrate, they decide to use the Dragon Balls. They collect all the Dragon Balls together, and they summon Shenron, which they say Shenlong in the movie, but that's his Japanese pronunciation, so it's fine. And they bring Roshi back to life. And Bulma says that they have to try to find him again, which is from the show, of course. And, yeah. Goku then meets with Chi-Chi and apologizes for attacking her, and she's okay. And they're ready to spar, as we get Matrix freeze frame going to credits. And then we get, because this movie's only 85 minutes long, the post-credits, and it has to take forever to happen. Forever to happen. We see this woman. She's making the soup. She's stirring the soup, and she's stirring the soup, and she's stirring the soup. And she's pouring the soup into the bowl, and then she picks up the soup. And she walks, and she walks, and she walks, and she walks into another room. She puts the soup on the nightstand. She sits there, and then she turns. Taking forever to turn. And she puts her hand on the bed, and it turns. Oh, it's Piccolo! We knew that. Why it took so long to show us that it's Piccolo is beyond me. I'd have a different way of showing it's still alive, but I don't know who this woman's supposed to be, but whatever. And that's Dragon Ball Evolution. Is it a good movie? Hell no. But is it as bad as people say? Hell no. I know a lot of... It's creative license, people. Okay, they're gonna change things. I unfortunately have yielded to that fact. It's why every live-action Disney movie annoyingly changes something, adding half a dozen more songs to Snow White. Well, they changed so much in Snow White, but whatever. Why Mulan's not a musical and has no Mushu, or The Jungle Book is barely a musical. and follows a different story. And he doesn't go back to the people at the end. And the creative license, the 1994 Jungle Book movie had a lot of different creative licenses. I actually like that version. It's a nice adventure film. I like it. I like that. Beauty and the Beast changed some things. You know, it happens. It's creative license. You can change what you want. I feel like they changed too much here, trying to fit it all in. Would I like to see a sequel? Yes. Because as Mortal Kombat has proved, a sequel can fix things. And I don't mean the 90s ones, I mean the new ones. A lot of people didn't like the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie. I did. But the reason was Cole Young. And now they fixed that with the new one. Spoiler alert, he dies. Oh, you seen the movie? Nope. I haven't seen the movie. Oh, someone spoiled it for you. Nope. I'm not stupid. That's how I know he's dead. I seen the trailer. He's barely in it. I bet you, and I don't know when, I bet you he dies almost right away. Because they don't need him anymore. He was an audience surrogate. And as this new movie proved, you could have just used Johnny Cage for that in the first film, and it would have been fine. But Warner Brothers demanded it had to be an original character. For what? They didn't make action figures or put them in a video game. So there was no reason for making the character. And I was so sure they were going to add him as a DLC character in Mortal Kombat 1, but they never did. So I'll give credit to that. But yeah, creative license is a thing. We're going to have to accept they're going to make changes. However, I know how to fix this movie. And I will tell you how in my next video. Until then, I will give this movie a low, middle of the road. That's right. I don't hate it. It's a bad movie, but it's entertaining enough. It's quick-paced, except for a couple of things that are clearly filler, just because it's only 85 minutes and we need some filler, but like it works. For what they were trying to do, it works. Not as a Dragonball movie, but for what they were trying to accomplish, I think it does work. So it's a low, middle of the road for me. So, what are your thoughts on Dragon Ball Evolution? No comments, so much like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.